Welcome to Withum Sounding Board, a podcast sharing powerful business tips, insights, and trends for those seeking to become a rock star in their industry.
Good day and welcome to Withum's Lodging Insights and Innovations podcast. My name is Lena Combs. I'm a partner here at Withum and the practice leader of the firm's hospitality services team. Today, I am proud to have with me Andy Guy, who is the CEO at FD Intelligence based in the UK. FD Intelligence is a company using intelligent automation to help hospitality companies transform finance, HR, and other processes by implementing and using AI and automation technologies. Today, we'll be talking about how hospitality companies can practically use automation to save time and resources and increase profitability. Welcome, Andy, and thanks for being with me today.
Thank you. So,
just to jump off, what role does FD Intelligence play in the hospitality sector?
So I'll just give you a little bit of background about myself first. So welcome. Yes, I'm the CEO of FD Intelligence. The business has been around for 5 years and we've focused initially in robotic process automation. As Lena said, it's taken care of all the mundane, repetitive tasks that no one necessarily wants to do. But over the last 3 years, we've really embedded AI within the solution. My background is I've worked within the accountancy sector for the last 25 years. I was previously CIO for one of the leading accountancy firms in London, and we established the business then afterwards. We focus on two sectors. Firstly, it is the accounting sector. But the second sector, and the really important sector for us, is hotels and hospitality. The reason that we have focused on this area is we believed that the hospitality sector is focused so much on delivering solutions to their customers, and their solution was always throwing a lot more people at it when there was potentially issues. Now we're coming in to address it, especially with tight margins, a lot of manual processes within the industry, and seasonal demand shifts. Yeah, during your peak Christmas and summer periods, the demand is so high. For example, there's finance workloads. Yeah, these month-end closes, invoice reconciliation work, supplier statement reconciliation. A lot of it taking a lot of manual effort, but also potentially an increase in risk because people are so busy that they can't actually focus on the task in hand. Moving on, booking management, so the reservations side of things. We've now taken a lot of these channels in terms of whether it's been web bookings, email bookings, and really sort of looking at what we can do to deliver that operational excellence for customers. So now the customer experience, rather than having agents necessarily going through and booking on the relevant property management systems, we're taking the charge of that with virtual assistants or virtual robots. So that can go beyond just room bookings. You can be doing dining bookings. You can be looking at spa reservations, golf reservations if it's a large resort. So it's really sort of taking that overhead and automating it, and to free up the time of the agents and the members of staff that are performing these tasks to do more.
Great. You talked about sort of labor constraints and busy seasonality type of issues, but what are some of the other biggest operational challenges that you see in hotels today that this kind of intelligent automation can help solve?
Well, one of the key things is clearly it's a highly transactional industry, that's working to very tight margins. And one of the areas that we believe that can transform the hospitality is having dynamic pricing. Yeah, looking at the rates on real time, looking at historic rates, looking at year-to-date numbers, looking at year-to-month, doing all this analytics real time and providing the relevant information to the fingertips of the agents to make sure that the correct price and the maximum price is achieved for each of the rooms.
I know that dynamic pricing is certainly a very popular item right now to help people maximize revenue.
Yeah.
But using automation to do that can certainly save a lot of time. What are some of the biggest misconceptions about automation in hospitality that people might have?
Yeah, I think one of the key areas here is that automation eliminates jobs. That's not what we're trying to do. And any automation business will say the same. It's very much enhancing the roles of employees, trying to reduce churn within the roles. It can be a heavy sort of churn position, especially within the call centers. What we're trying to do is make their jobs more interesting, keep hold of them so that they actually feel like they're adding value rather than necessarily just a sort of more data entry type role. So it's trying to give more time back to allow the employees to get upskilled with the necessary skills to ultimately improve profitability and revenue for the hotels.
Great. And, we all know how expensive turnover is, right? So if we can reduce those costs, then that will certainly help. So what kind of ROI or efficiencies can hotel companies expect to see from implementing these sort of processes?
Yeah, so we from the clients that we've worked with and the market research, you're looking at about 30% reduction in admin costs. So that's what we're seeing as an industry standard by implementing automation. Just to illustrate, I'll give you a couple of examples that we've worked in. So Ambridge Hospitality, we work with their EMEA team who operate around 100 plus hotels. They've now got their month-end process down to, so they've got it 90% fully automated. So only 10% of the month-end is now manual. And the team are really enjoying that. Another example is one of our clients decided to do a Black Friday deal. So they did 50% discount on all rooms for a particular period. They got inundated. They got well over 1,000 bookings that evening. It would have taken the team approximately 5 weeks to process all of these bookings. The automation did it in just over 5 hours.
Wow, so that's pretty substantial time savings.
Getting the cash in quicker, getting the customers happy because they've got the booking and they've got the reservations in place, and not just the rooms, but also the dining experience and also the spa reservation, all done automatically.
Fantastic. So what are some of the biggest barriers to adoption of intelligent automation?
So I think that one of hotels worry about the cost, complexity, and disruption around what an automation program would look like. So the first thing to understand is you don't necessarily have to change any system that you're currently using. So if you're using Opera as your PMS and NetSuite as your finance package, you do not have to change your systems. And first of all, I would always address that you start small. Never try and start big. Never try and deliver every single part of automation immediately. And that will allow you to progress a lot quicker. A lot of people will try and do something that's really complex right at the beginning, and therefore it might take a year to implement the solution. And by that time, the business has moved on. They've lost the confidence. Whereas if you start with a small project, it's delivered in a month. You get champions within the team that then embrace the technology and go, yeah, this is really, really working for us. And you use that as the seed to then grow out further. So, yeah, I think that trying to get quick implementation that demonstrates rapid return on investment is key. You don't want to have too much staff disruption. So you want to focus on tasks that can be segued into the environment very quickly without too much operational change. That can come later as the maturity evolves within the business.
So would you also, just as a follow-up to that, would it be a true statement to say that when you bite off those smaller projects that have a quicker implementation time frame, are they less costly too, so that you can get that comfort level before a big capital investment is being made?
Absolutely, yeah. And sometimes you can look at processes that make the investment cost neutral. So, for example, if you're looking at commissions, you might be able to streamline your commissions to reduce your costs there, and then therefore make the project cost neutral.
Right. Great. So one of the big topics that people talk about, and I, as a traveler, I like personal touch. And not everybody does. That's of course a preference thing. But how do you balance automation with personal touch in the hospitality and lodging sector?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. So we work with a premium 5-star hotel based in Scotland. You might be able to guess who that is, but we went with the managing director of that business, and he was saying that we only want to provide that premium service to our customers. It's very bespoke, it's very unique, so that's the value in the product. However, they've now changed the view. They think they're potentially diminishing the quality of the product by not automating, because mistakes can get made. Their turnaround time in terms of an itinerary for the customer takes longer. So that bespoke package that they want to play golf, have the spa, have the dining experience, get the quality room, to do that as a package took a lot longer and required a lot more people. And as I mentioned at the beginning, when you have high churn within that team, to get someone up to that sort of quality from a training perspective takes a lot of time. It takes about 6 months for them to get to that operational excellence. They've taken the view they would rather automate but then hand back to an individual to do that final check before sending out. So you're still doing the personal touch, but your turnaround is a lot quicker.
So on the back end, you're using the automation to create the product, and then
yes.
Delivery by a human.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. So what do you say is the next frontier for automation in hospitality? And how do you see that intelligent automation and AI shaping the industry over the next 5 years?
So I think it's going to be 2 areas. Yeah, we've already mentioned dynamic pricing. That is going to become so important. There's some major hotel groups that are recognizing about 200 million return from this already per annum. Some of the major chains are seeing that kind of return on investment already. But then that enhanced customer experience. I think that we're going to be using AI to, like you are with Netflix, it predicts what movie you want to watch. It predicts what music you want to listen to. I think that's all coming within the hotel sector. I think that you're going to get predefined packages that you're suggesting to your guests, and ultimately that's going to improve their experience, because they might not even know about certain packages and offers and things that are available to them. So I think the combination of that predictive dynamic pricing along with excellent customer service based on the way that people are interacting with the hotels and based on that kind of profile and being able to deliver that exceptional service. I think that they're the 2 key points I would say that are going to change. I think it will be less than 5 years. I think it will be happening in the next 2 to 3 years.
Right. So more taking those customer preferences, more of that. And we hear a lot about people using dynamic pricing. We hear less about people actually having implemented yet automation and AI for like scheduling. So staff scheduling based on actual occupancy and reservations, maybe inventory management for food and beverage operations. Do you see more companies starting to use these processes for that yet, or do you think has been a slower
No,
migration?
I think that's all in play. I think also your supplier, diligence as well. So if your products that you're buying for your F&B, you'll be able to look at the best rates, look at the best pricing. You'll be able to get much more competitive very quickly in terms of what suppliers you use. I think that's going to be adaptive. I think the resource scheduling, as you say, that is going to be much more predictive in the future in terms of being able to understand the peaks and troughs that are the hotels are going to be facing. I also I think there's a lot more. It's not just the kind of structured information that we're talking about, the financial information or the booking information. It's also the softer side of things. So your complaints process, understanding exactly how you handle complaints, how you ensure that the right response is provided to the customer, making sure that the right offer is provided, redirecting to the relevant person. That's all in play right now. And again, it just improves that customer experience. It's not like some of the chatbot type technology that you've seen in the past where it just is a pain and you would rather just speak to a person. This will be given a real personal touch in terms of what you're offering your customers.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think people think chatbots when they think about AI, and it's really so much more than that. We've got to sort of expand our vocabulary when it comes to those types of things. So any final thoughts about what excites you most about the future of automation in hospitality?
Yeah, I think it's really evolving fast. I think that there's loads of opportunity, and we're really excited in terms of taking people on a journey. As I mentioned, one of our clients, Ambridge, the finance director is so passionate about automation now. They didn't think 2 years ago this stuff would be possible, and now she is, I say, got to sort of 90% automation within their month end, and it's like, where else can I go? And it's to see that kind of passion growing within the industry and seeing how job roles are changing as well. Yeah, so people are now looking at different capabilities and different ways of working, and I think that it's going to take various paths, but I think the future is definitely bright with AI and automation, and been able to deliver that exceptional customer experience, but also drive revenue and profitability. It's going to be really exciting.
It's a great balance. And I think your point about having a strong internal champion really helps drive the success of any of these programs that people try to put in place in their companies. So, well, thank you so much, Andy. Appreciate you being here with me today and talking about this timely topic, providing your insights to the lodging industry. If you have any questions about today's podcast, please reach out to us at www.withum.com/hospitality or to FDintelligence at hello@fdintelligence.co.uk.
Thank you very much.